Good day, everyone, or evening, or night. So, the today we'll talk about awakening, what that seems to be. Awakening in the sense that I'm speaking about awakening as the end of delusion, the end of perceiving the world through the filter of belief or self, false self. And during the period that I personally went through, there was a mad dash, a very frustrated, anxious search through everything I'd ever been taught and everything out there to learn for something real, something that the fear-based self could grasp onto, to keep out the darkness, we could say, to keep out the truth, or the light, to keep out the light, the truth. It would seem dark from the separated or segregated self's perspective. So there was a lot of writing, and there was a lot of reading, researching, and this process lasted a couple years, give or take. And there was kind of some always searching, it seems, from a young age, looking around, trying to find a sense of security, a sense of peace, a sense of, it seems like maybe a continual happiness, And for a while, different things worked. Alcohol, drugs worked for a while. Different religions that I went to seemed to work for a little bit. A big fan of sci-fi and fantasy, so that worked for a while. Losing myself in those magical worlds, whether in books or television or film. But it all climaxed, and you could say the culmination of all that searching was a burning down of everything, a burning through beliefs and ideas and concepts. Even though at the time I didn't know what was going on, just to be honest. And it was not instantaneous, it was not pleasurable. And there were some moments of euphoria. But once it started, it had to burn its way out. And at the end of that process, there was nothing left. We could say the realization that the true self is no self at all. And that the self that I always thought of as me was just a conglomeration of memories, beliefs, desires, and we could say it was also a returning to the essence of what we are. I like the word essence. The Tao uses essence a lot. It talks about the segregated and integrated minds. The Tao Te Ching, supposedly written by a man named Lao Tzu many years ago. And we could say that the non-dual state is, in a sense, you could describe it as being aware of the subtle essence of the universe, or the subtle essence of everything that is, or the subtle essence of what one guy on my path called the dream state. You know, the world now has a very dreamlike quality. I don't hallucinate. I don't see anything that's not here, or hear anything that's not here or happening. When the walls of false self fall down, there's a direct perception of everything being singular. And what seems like air is full. I mean, it still appears as, vacant, but it takes on a fullness, an aliveness. Everything is the same aliveness, this one aliveness. And that aliveness is living in and through everything. That subtle essence is in and through everything. Religionists would say God. Science would say energy. They're all pointing to the same thing. However, the teachings themselves often get stuck on. They become solidified in the mind, or as the separate sense of self, as belief. And they're just merely a map to the location or the destination. I've heard it said, so I'll repeat it. We confuse the map for the destination. The destination is where the teachings or the teachers point to. However, the separate sense of self needs something to cling on, so it clings on to the teachings, or it clings on to the rituals, or it clings on to the teacher. And clinging, in essence, is sort of the problem. trying to hold on to something that's constantly shifting and changing. Nothing can be held on to. It can appear that way temporarily, but everything is always changing. Nothing is ever the same. Ever. Ever. Constant movement, shifting. And if I could describe how it is for me now, this subtle essence can be perceived. We could say the body senses it moving in and out of this form. The eyes perceive it moving in and out of everything. However, this form is, we could say, just an experience in the singular, in the oneness, in the dream. This human character is just an experience. And every part of it, or appearing part of it, just an experience. An experience to what? Can't say. To the one thing? To the no thing that appears as everything? To the nothing? Sitting in the backyard, I hear a lot of the birds. Love the music of the birds. When the separate sense of self dissipates, falls away, or is seen through, things become very simple. They're not so complicated. What needs to be done is indicated in this moment, and it's done. There's no struggling, there's no trying to do, there's no planning to do, there's no working it out. It's just done. There's nobody doing it. Even in the appearance of somebody doing it, there's nobody doing it. It's just the appearance of a self-doing. And you don't have to believe anything I say. And this ain't about belief. But I will say, look for yourself. Look for yourself. Or look at yourself. Look at the ideas and beliefs that are constantly radiating through you. See if there's any real substance to them. Or are they just something that fear keeps to hold out, not knowing? The perception of having knowledge creates a wall against not knowing. We could say, though, in not knowing, everything is known. But in knowing, nothing is known. If I know, there's nothing left to actually know. You know? There's a lot of no's in there. I know it sounds like a mind fuck, but it's that kind of that old saying, you know, a full mind or a full cup. You can't pour any more water in a full cup. Right? You need an empty cup to pour water into. And the self is like that. The self is full. The whole self is the fullness. The false self. It's full of beliefs, ideas, concepts, opinions, and in that sense, we could say that's ignorance. That's ignorance. Ignorance is assuming I know, thinking I know, believing I know, when nothing can be really known. We can make up stuff about what is, what exists. You know, the mind does that. It can tell stories about what is. We can even create sciences around what is. It's just ways to describe what's perceived. However, it's not what is. Can we see what is? Anyway, it's getting kind of dark over here. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have a chance, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Screaming at the Wind. Come back and watch some more, or don't. Have a good evening, good night, good day, good morning. Bye now.